Hey, what's going on, people? AJ Trainsalot here. In this last day of February, wanted to make this video talk a little bit about self-love and what that really looks like in terms of personal development, fitness, nutrition, working out, and all that good stuff. Okay, and if you haven't already, you can check out my calisthenic workout videos. I'm going to be uploading them. And these are videos from last year that I did workouts every week, every month, and each month has their own theme. And since February is the theme of self-love, that's what this video is going to be about. Okay, so now what does self-love really look like? I know a lot of us have these ideas of what we may believe self-love looks like, feels like, to our own perspective. But I think in terms of leveling up, right, like our lives and developing professionally and personally, there's not much room for debate. Okay, all right, so what does loving yourself really look like? Okay, it looks like accountability, responsibility, and setting goals, aspirations, setting timelines for things, and making sure you're staying accountable to these goals that you set, right? And that is the opposite of certain freedom and just chilling and vibing, right? Because if we really love ourselves, we set goals for ourselves, we level up, and we can't do that if we don't have a schedule, right? If we don't set timelines for things to get done in a timely order, especially if they're things that we've been thinking about and wanting to do for years, months, whatever the case may be. And how self-love plays into that is if I truly love myself and I want myself to feel good in the future, okay, I'm gonna set goals. For instance, this YouTube video needed to be done in the month of February, okay, and I'm gonna feel so much better knowing that I did it in the month that I was supposed to, right? Because if it was done next month, well, next month is a whole different theme, and it may not matter to you, the viewer, when this video is done, but it matters to me, matters to myself, right? And that's self-love. I'm loving myself by setting standards for myself and making sure that I stay accountable to these standards, okay? All right, and another element of self-love is discipline, the ability to stick to a plan, purpose, or agenda regardless of your feelings, because our feelings change moment to moment. But the principles that contribute to success and professional and personal development, they don't change. They're forever constant. And with self-love, the greatest gift we can give ourselves is progress towards the things we really want to do in this life. Progress towards things that nourish our souls, okay? Things that, we want to tell our children about, things that are actually gonna matter, things that we're actually gonna think about when we're at a certain point in our lives, okay? When all the dust is settled and we're done with our 9 to 5, what else are we doing? Okay, the greatest gift that we can give ourselves is accountability, responsibility, and discipline. Because really no one can give us these things, okay? It's intrinsic. It comes from within. It has to be brought out, drawn out from within. Self-love, okay? And without these things, our world, our schedule is just in chaos. There's no law and order, okay? And there's no love without law and order. It keeps things in place. It's there for a reason. Rules and standards are there for a reason. Okay, setting a schedule is for a reason. And a big part of it is fitness and exercise. Setting a schedule, setting time out every day to do something that is going to improve your value of living, is going to improve your standard of living. Okay? Notice how we come back to standards and rules and setting boundaries, right? For instance, you set boundaries in relationships so you don't get hurt, because you love yourself. You love yourself enough to set out these boundaries, and so you notice red flags or whatever the case may be when you encounter other people. And you say, whoa, if I go too far down this line, I know I'm gonna get hurt. And so to protect myself from that hurt, because I love myself, I'm not gonna break these boundaries. Not only setting these boundaries, but sticking to them as well. Okay? And that is one of the greatest versions of self-love that we can practice. Setting goals, but along with those goals, we set a timeline, right? We don't just say, I want to do this, it'll happen. Excuse me. We don't just say, I want to do this, and it'll happen when it happens, okay? Because then it'll never happen. Why? Because there's no timeline, there's no deadline. And that is a big part of self-love. Because if you loved yourself, you would tell yourself the truth that if I don't set standards and these rules, that is never going to happen. And if I really want it to happen, then I have to impose certain guidelines on myself and protecting my sphere of influence, right? How can you say you love yourself but you don't have standards? How can you say you love yourself but you don't have guidelines to live by? Without guidelines, like I said before, it's just all chaos. And no one wants to live in chaos, right? So that's an indication that we love ourselves, and we value ourselves, and we take our time, energy, money, whatever the case may be, we take that serious. Because a lot of times we take other people's time and money and resources more serious than we do our own, right? So setting standards and adhering to those standards is the greatest form of self-love, because at the end of the day, that's gonna be where we see the most benefit, the most growth, and the most achievement, right? And self-love is also taking notice of the things we're lacking in our lives, and some of the things that we've been overindulging in, okay, and being honest with ourselves. Okay, that's what love is. That's what self-love really looks like, being honest with ourselves and saying we need to jump on a fitness routine, jump on an 8-week program, jump on some type of diet so that we don't continue down the path of self-destruction. Okay, and that implies, like I said, being honest with yourself and noticing that changes need to happen, that the way that we've been carrying ourselves is not ultimately being productive. It's not ultimately leading to a feeling of fulfillment, more self-worth, more self-value. Okay, all right, that concludes this video, and this month's theme again is self-love. Okay, we're talking a little bit about what that really looks like and how to build that up in our lives so that we can level up, progress, and hit these achievements. Okay, and if you don't know, my first book, Transformation Through Fitness, is going to be published this March 9th on ebook and paperback. The link is in the description where you can pre-order that and get yourselves a copy. In this book, I'm highlighting success principles, discipline, as we're talking about today, commitment and consistency, various principles that I've learned through fitness, exercise, and nutrition that can lead to success in other areas of life. Okay, so again, the link is in the description. Also, be sure to check out my website, transformwithtrainsalot.com, okay, for personal training, nutrition advice, meal plans, and whatever you need to get in shape and live a much more prosperous, healthy lifestyle. All right, peace. Till next time.